Hi, my name is Kristen Reed. I own Simply Flawless in Monroe, Ohio. I am auditioning or applying to be a babe educator. I have 14 years of experience as a licensed cosmetologist. I have about 5 years already of experience being an educator. So, a little bit about me. I am still behind the chair. I have owned and operated Simply Flawless for about 3 years. Over the past 3 years, I did not plan on opening a salon and going straight into a pandemic. Over the past 3 years, I have really sought my roots on education because the lack of education that schools have been providing us stylists, and with the lack of education between when you graduate and when you get behind the chair, I feel like I have gotten to the point of really educating my staff in here, and over the pandemic, really don't having anything to show for it. So the past year, so 2022, I've started to roll out my Simply Flawless education side of Simply Flawless. So I do offer training for licensed professionals that are already in the beauty industry. So right now, I am certified in all types of hair extensions with Babe. I am certified in hybrid sew and wefts with Donna Bella. I am certified in eyelash extensions and dermaplaning facials. So all of those I actually teach here at my salon. So I do offer these classes already for licensed professionals. So being a part of Babe would really make me and Simply Flawless, I think, flourish even more. I think that Babe hair extensions, the quality of them is so much better than any of the ones that I've used. So I always revert back to them. So I'm going to teach just a little bit about tape-ins, maybe a little bit about placement, and then I'm going to apply these tape-ins. So when I start my process with tape-ins, now tape-ins are really simple, easy procedure to install them. The application is not that tedious to where it takes me as long. So I do offer a lot of tape-ins for my brides, maybe like a girls' night out, destination weddings, or I do offer peekaboos. So I do have some extensions that these ones are not tape-ins, but just for a little fact, I do have like fusion bonded ones that I do custom ones for. And when I have like leopard print ones around here somewhere. The leopard print ones are super simple for little girls who might want just a pop of color. So like this technique these are very versatile. So if I have a client that really wants something that's low maintenance, that if they needed to, they could take them out at home. Let's say they have kids, or long time wear, you can reuse them and retape them for up to 3 times. So which is great that they get the great use of it. So one thing that me as a stylist behind the chair, I cannot guarantee my hair unless I know what I'm installing in my client. So I have a lot of clients that come to me and they're like, oh, can I buy some on Amazon? Or what about XYZ? And I'm like, I don't personally know anything about them, but wouldn't you want your stylist who is you're going to pay a ton of money to know how to remove it, know the quality, know the everything, the quantity, how much to put in your hair, the correct technique? Because it's kind of like riding a bike without doing the training wheels. For one, experience wise, I have done fusion tip extensions on a client that had bought them from Amazon. Every keratin tip was different, and it took me 5 hours to get them out. Her hair was completely damaged. Now, I'm going to say she's a family friend. she okayed me to do that, but I would never ever do that for my client. So you have to be able to guarantee that hair that you're putting on your client, because that's your work. So I'm gonna start off with, when I apply these, I'm gonna start by going in the nape and I work myself up to the crown. So I always start down here. So when you start and you part your mannequin off, you wanna part her off in a T section. So I have the headband to the ears, and then I have right down the middle. So I'm not going to pay attention to where her part is or anything until I get all the way up to about the top of the ear. And then I'll start to discuss, like, now if we have a heavy side or vice versa. So when I put this down, this is so important. This is like my go-to tool for any extensions, because it's going to help me to know if they're hidden, because this is such a bright colored rat tail comb that I can see throughout. So I want to be about a 1/2 inch to 2 inches away from the perimeter of the hairline, and I've taken out just about, I would say, about 1.25 inches at the bottom. Obviously mannequins are going to be a lot different than they are with a real client, so just take that into consideration. So I'm going to place my comb here and lift up the hair. Now if I can see that pink all the way through, then that means that if I put that tape in right there, that client's going to see it if they wear their hair up. So we want to make sure that these are very, very hidden for our clients. So I'm just going to go ahead and just briefly show how to apply. And I'm actually going to sandwich them. Sandwich them is super easy to do. I don't sandwich everybody. So typically I would have an extension on the bottom, the hair in between, and then an extension on the top. You don't have to do it that way. We actually, Babe does have single-sided tape, so you should be able to do the bottom piece with a single-sided tape if you didn't need that much hair down here. So when I start down here, I'm probably only gonna have 2 pieces down here, because you don't want a lot with how much hair is here. That's a really weighted line where we don't need that. If that client has their hair up, it's gonna be too heavy. So to go ahead and start, I know I'm gonna be about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from the hairline here. So I don't want to go ahead and part off my piece at all. I just want to go in and make sure that all of my hair is up in the Velcro, that all the little, flyaways are tucked away. I want to make sure that I have clean partings. Clean partings are super important. So one other thing is that you do not want to actually place your fingers on the pieces of tape that we have, because otherwise it does wear on the adhesive. So you do not want to place your fingertips on them at all. So I went ahead and removed them. So my tape adhesive part is facing my mannequin. So what I'm going to do now is find my place. I'm going to be about 1/4, not even 1/4 of an inch away from the scalp, because we don't want this to be directly on the scalp, because we want to be able to flip it up and be able to put a single-sided tape underneath. So I'm going to go ahead about 1 inch in, and I'm going to go ahead and place my adhesive tape down, and I'm going to press it gently. So now that I've went ahead and placed it down, now what I'm going to do is flip it upward. And one thing I always did wrong when I was doing extensions, when I first learned how to, I used to just go ahead and like part off the piece, and then that's what I would sandwich. Well, the hair in those adhesives cannot hold that much hair. So as I've just placed that there, I'm going to lift it upward, and that's perfect. That is just enough hair that that adhesive can hold. So now that I have that, I'm gonna go in here and use my pick, and I'm just gonna go ahead and pull away all the flyaway hairs, anything that might have pulled in different directions. I just want this super simple and clean. Clean, clean, clean. So now that I've went ahead and done that, now I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the tape for my second piece. This is where I'm going to just lay it down right underneath it. and sandwich them together. I'm just gonna press lightly, make sure it's all adhered. You can actually, do not use heat on the tape itself. Some other brands do that. Do not put heat on them. Now I'm just gonna take my clamp and I just wanna lightly make sure everything's adhered. That's just an extra little bit of safety because I have carpal tunnel. So there I can see where I have my first tape in. Alrighty. Now that concludes just a little bit of my education. So hopefully I hear back from you guys. Thanks so much.